Yeah, okay, well that is not what we're here for. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mel. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and if you want to see any more video suggestions, please leave it in the comment section below. Today's topic is going to be Invisalign. This is something that I get asked many questions about on Instagram. I thought it'd be a good idea to just post a video on here explaining everything, all of the costs, the questions that people usually ask me, tips about them, tricks about them, and what to expect if you do want to buy them. When I was first thinking about getting Invisalign, I like to research everything, so I was watching many videos. I just couldn't find anything that I thought would be like a real experience. So I'm here to give you all the information about the Invisalign treatment and what to expect. So first and foremost, Invisalign is a teeth straightening treatment process? Same thing. But it's different to the conventional brace, as this one is metallic and it's really obvious that people are trying to straighten their teeth. Invisalign is a clear brace and it involves trays like a retainer and some attachments that are put on your teeth. So to get your Invisalign, you should go to the orthodontist, not the dentist, and the reason for this is because the orthodontist is basically trained better in teeth straightening and veneers or whatever. In my case, it wasn't more expensive and I got a plan which worked out the same price as what a conventional brace was, and that's why I did want to go for this option, and I'm always smiling, so I didn't really want the conventional brace so people can see that I'm actually trying to straighten them. So first of all, I'll talk to you about price. So the price of my treatment is actually £2,999, and yes, it's quite a lot, but for me, my smile is something that I've always been insecure about and I've always wanted to get that fixed, and that's something that I'm proud I've done. With my treatment, I also got free teeth whitening at the end of my treatment once it's all finished. I do actually have the payment plan here. So there's 3 ways that you can pay for your brace. So you can either do finance, can pay up front, or you can pay in 3 installments. So what I did was I paid one large sum and then the remaining balance was split into 3 costs. And that made it more manageable. If you have already been researching about an invisible teeth straightening treatment, then you might have come across Clear Smile or Smile Direct. I did think about them at first. They might be a little bit cheaper, but then I thought that if I go for the Invisalign, then I'm getting the real deal. Like my orthodontist, there's people that are actually trained with Invisalign, so you know that you're going to get a really good treatment. Moving on to how exactly I got my Invisalign. So what I did was I registered online for a Smile CLIN check. So this is basically to see what my teeth look like before treatment and what they will look like after treatment, and to give a rough estimation as to how many trays I might need. In my appointment, they use a digital scanner to scan my teeth, and then I got a representation on a screen which I got emailed a digital copy. Basically it shows you what to expect. I didn't really know how easy it would be until I did it. So after that, I then went into another room with a lady and she gave me an x-ray to see if I've got any teeth growing, and I found out that I actually had some wisdom teeth coming, but they're never going to come through, so it's not going to affect my treatment. You'll only get your x-rays when you decide definitely that you are going to go through the treatment. As I'd already decided that was what I was going to do, then was finished for that day and I booked another appointment to come back, and that was when my trays would have been ready. I think they took about 2 weeks. It wasn't long at all. 2 weeks, maybe 3. When you go back for that appointment, it's slightly longer than the other ones, and the reason for that is because they put attachments on your teeth, and I'm going to show you all of that now. So this is what my teeth look like with the Invisalign on, and this is what they look up close. And before I show you what my teeth look like when I take my trays out, I'm just going to show you guys how you actually take them out. I've already hand sanitized my hands and they're all clean, but if you've not already done that, then please do. What you do to take them out is you just hook it from the back and you just take it out, and you do the same for the bottom one. That's what my teeth look like when I have taken them out. My teeth actually have a few attachments on. So this on. What these attachments are for is to apply some pressure to certain teeth to help them move. You can't feel them at all. I thought that's what conventional braces would feel like, but I genuinely can't feel a thing. The only time I can feel something is with my tongue when I brush them against, but other than that, they're not a problem. Not everybody needs attachments. Something that you might need to consider is that not everybody's Invisalign will look the same. I know that some people say that it's completely invisible, but that's not the case. I'm just going to tell you that now, just so you don't expect that. And the reason is just because the attachments form bumps in your teeth, and and as you could probably see before, it's a little bit shiny. So although it is invisible and you can't see it when you're far away, you can see it when you're up close, or people might think what's on your teeth. But I do think it's the best option in comparison to all the other teeth straightening treatments out there. So everyone's treatment will be different, and that's because people will wear trays for different lengths of time. For me, I wear my trays for 10 days at a time. For some people it might be 1 week, for others it might be 2 weeks. And this is the intervals that you take before you change your trays. So I needed 17 trays altogether. I'm on my 12th tray out of 17, and I'll be moving on to my 13th one very soon. This is an example of what your trays can look like. And it will write on there how many days that you wear them for. Once you finish, you just open it and you just change over. It's super easy, it's super simple. Once you run out of trays, then you'll book an appointment, or you've already got it booked in advance like me, and you will go and get the rest of them. I'm actually going back to the orthodontist in less than 2 weeks and getting the rest of my trays. Something that I like about it is that you can see your teeth without anything on, and that's something that you can't see with the conventional braces. So you can actually track the process of your teeth, which is really fun. Some people might need trays for a very long time. Some people might not need many trays at all, and sometimes you might need more trays than estimated. I really don't think that I'm going to need many more trays because my teeth are quite straight right now, but it's things like my bite and angles that really made me want braces. A big question that I always get asked on Instagram is the pain of the braces. What I would say is to expect 3 days of pain. You don't get pain straight away. It's not like an instant process. When you put your tray in, a few hours after, they will start to ache. I had a teething sensation with mine. So I'm just going to pop my trays back in like that, and then I'm just going to show you guys what I actually mean. I was doing this, but I really don't suggest doing that. And the reason is because it might grind your trays down. Another question is always about comfort. So basically with the trays, at first it was such a foreign object for my mouth. I was feeling like I'm never going to get used to it. What happens is your mouth will adjust to it. At first it might seem very strange because your teeth aren't really touching. That's the reason why you might get a lisp. What happens is with a lisp, you probably will get one, I'm not gonna lie. What happens is when you take it out and put it back in, then you form a lisp. But that goes after a while, and it's just like your tongue getting used to the tray at the back of your teeth. You have to wear your trays for 22 hours a day. That gives you 2 hours a day to snack, eat and drink anything other than water. It is doable, and sometimes you might need to run over time. So just remember to wear it for as close as possible to 22 hours a day if you want maximum results. So with your trays, you can't eat in them and you can't drink anything other than water. You don't want to stain your trays. I've stained a few in the past, and it doesn't feel nice knowing that your trays are a bit stained. So I like to take them out when I'm drinking something and brush them quickly and put them back in, or I like to chew some gum before I put them in. Another tip that I forgot to mention to you guys is that when you're drinking anything other than water, you can actually cheat, and I know that you will try to cheat if you want them. So I'm just going to tell you now that you can use a straw, and it just prevents the sugar from going into your trays as it just goes back to your throat. If you want to drink hot drinks, then wait till they've cooled down a little bit, or get the iced version of that drink. So for example, the coffee, if I didn't want to take my trays out, I just wait till it's cooled down to lukewarm. Then I drink it through a straw, and then just take my trays out and clean them as soon as possible. It can sometimes feel like a chore when you're snacking or eating outside, and that's because you've got to take them out before you can put them in. If you're just with your friends, then it's alright, because if you explain to them that you've got your braces and what you have to do, then they'll expect it from you. But it's a bit awkward if you're with people who you're not very close to and you're just popping your trays out. Something that you get with your treatment is a holder for your trays. I'm going to show you that in a second. And you also get some crystals for cleaning. So this is the Invisalign box. It looks like this. And this is your lifesaver. You need to take this everywhere so you don't lose your trays. Some people put them in tissue, and there's so many stories of people's trays going in the bin and getting lost. And that's what happened to one of my trays. I was in Italy and I just took them out with my friends whilst I was eating. I forgot about them. I left the cafe, then ran back because I remember them. And the lady had put them in the bin, but luckily I was heading back to the hotel anyway, and it was my day to change my trays. So it wasn't really a big problem for me, but it could be really disastrous if you're not wearing your trays for like a few days and you've ruined your treatment for that. These are the cleaning crystals that I was just explaining to you, and this is what you get with your treatment. It's a bag, and inside there is a box like this. In here it has all of the information that you might want to know about your Invisalign. And so these crystals are something that you clean your trays with. Your trays, basically I treat mine as another set of teeth, and it's important that you're cleaning them because you don't want to be cleaning your teeth and putting dirty trays back in there. However, these can be quite expensive, and a way to save some money is to get some denture cleaner. This is what I have been using, and I've seen other people recommending them, and yeah, it's just a way to save yourself some money. Another way to save yourself some money is don't buy the chewies that's suggested. So chewies is just a piece of material for when you have the teething sensation, and it's just something to chew on. But to save yourself some money, you can just fold some tissue up and chew on that, or fold a towel or some thick material and chew on that instead. So now I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to save yourself if you're going outside and you know you're going to need to eat. So what you should be doing is getting yourself a pouch or a pocket or something like that. So inside the bag you should have your trays, you should have some floss, mouthwash if you can get a little one, a portable toothbrush, and a miniature toothpaste. The reason for this is because if you want to eat and you're going for a long distance, then you might want to just brush your teeth quickly if you're out and about. If you know you're going to come home quick, then you might want to just chew some gum. So I stick to the original Colgate for toothpaste, and I like to have a clear mouthwash. With your mouthwash, make sure you're looking for the one that has fluoride in it, just to make sure that your teeth are nice and safe and that it's protecting the enamel. That's something that the orthodontist will recommend to you. Another thing that the orthodontist will recommend to you is to have your teeth cleaned beforehand and also 6 months afterwards. And for me, like, my teeth just feel super squeaky clean once I've had that done. If you want to wear lipstick with your trays in, it can transfer, and that goes for gloss as well, and it doesn't really feel nice or look nice. A way to get around this is just to use a lip liner like I've got on now, as it's dry and it won't transfer, or you can use a liquid lipstick that won't transfer either. If you do want to use lip gloss, which I do like to use, then something that I find useful is to just put your finger in your mouth and the excess will come off on your finger, and that would transfer on your teeth, but it won't. With my treatment, I've had no problems whatsoever. My dentists are lovely. I'm going to give them a shout out. So I go to Dental at Media City in Salford Keys. It's super clean, super hygienic. The interior is gorgeous and the people are just so lovely. I'm a bit wary for finishing my treatment because my Invisalign has become part of me, and I feel like my normal teeth are with my Invisalign in, and when I take them out my teeth kind of feel bare and empty. So I don't know how I'm going to feel when I do finish my treatment, but I'm super excited for the straight teeth. So that's just about it, guys. If you do have any more questions, please feel free to pop them down below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I hope this has helped anybody that has any questions or queries or feels unsure about Invisalign. I will get back to you all once I finish my treatment and I'll give you some before and after pictures, but until then, ciao guys.